Welcome back to Man of Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Well, hopefully we can actually start, I suppose, redecorating our island, or at least getting rid of this sea of mannequins which has been plaguing our island for so long as we try and create this rock farm, which I believe today's the last day. The last day for the sick rock to move in, I suppose. Move in's a bit of a strange word. It's sort of like personifying a rock that is moving into an apartment or something, but anyway. I feel like I start a lot of these with anyway and then go into whatever it is about saying, but hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 4:46 PM on Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. Not really much to speak of today, but excuse me. Nearing the end of February on the 28th. Yeah, 28th is not leap year or whatever. It's here. Yeah, you know what? You know what's even crazy about leap years, you know? If you don't know what a leap year is, what? For one, I suppose, I guess you're on a different calendar system from a Gregorian calendar system, which the majority of the world has adopted, but that's fair enough, I suppose. Storytime Rambler. Once, my teacher caught me passing a note and I had to read it aloud. I was saying, I hate pop music. I was lying. I want to impress that girl Debbie. She liked prog rock. What even is prog rock? No, seriously. Progressive rock? I don't really know its definition, but there you go, Audie. I'm pretty sure she sent us that before, to be fair. Is red our... This is not red, our visitor today. Oh, it's LaBelle. Hello, LaBelle. Yeah, you know about leap years? You know about leap years? Sporty outfit. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I want to wear sporty clothes all the time, but I guess we'll do it because that's not something we've done quite yet. And I'm sure we can find something exactly suited to our tastes. Because the sporty style, not athleisure, not really my style. But yeah, you know, okay, if you don't know what leap year is for some reason, every 4 years, of course, we have added day at the end of February to make it from 28 days to 29 days. Why February was given 28 days in the first place, I don't actually know. Who knows about the mysterious details of a Gregorian calendar? But yeah, every 4 years. So last time we had leap year was last year in 2020, just to make the year a little bit longer than it already was. What was my point? I don't know if I had a point. Oh yeah, but you know, like, even above leap years and all that, we have... Do you know there's an extra rule that every 100 years, the leap year doesn't count anymore, I think. I think it's 100. Is that right? Yeah. Every 100 leap... No, not every 100 leap years, every 25 leap years, I suppose. Every 100 years, the leap year no longer counts. And it's just a regular year, which is like, whoa. But then you find out even more wildly is every 600 years that leap year actually does count and actually is a leap year again. And you're just like, what? Why all of this? I mean, the whole point of a leap year in the first place is to correct, like, because of course we have a man-made Gregorian calendar thing which doesn't quite sync up with the natural cycles of this passing world and rotations around the sun. So if we didn't have a leap year, I suppose it would slowly get out of sync with the expected seasonal changes, I suppose, of a world. So then you'd end up with like spring and summer or that sort of thing. Actually, is that right way around? No, so spring and winter, I suppose. It'd be going backwards. I don't really know what sporty outfits to put on here. Like, the jacket seems like the best sort of thing. I'm trying to do something which is close to what I'd wear, which is basically very few things, sporty-wise, but, you know, broaden your horizons. That sort of thing. Yeah, otherwise we very, very slowly sort of drift out of sync with the natural world and it'll be all very strange. But with the addition of leap years, it sort of like resets it a little bit back and be like, oh yeah, here we go, let's just try and sync everything up again. Otherwise it'll be a little bit too far. I suppose we can... a ballet outfit? That's a bit much. Don't we have a figure skating dress or something? Perhaps we can turn that into something fancy. Yeah, that's a fairy dress, that's not the right one. Figure skating, there we go. It's going to be incredibly cold, so it doesn't really make sense to wear, but I'm trying to see if there's anything else fancy which is sporty related. Not that I can really see. Maybe we should just stick with athleisure style, you know? Just change it up completely. Oversized sweats dress. Hey, that's what I was talking about yesterday when I was talking about hand washing things only. Rugby dress? Rugby dress, yep. Rugby uniform? Not really. Kimono. Can't really do sports in a kimono. Well, you could try. It's a bit difficult, I'd imagine. A bit restrictive. But yeah, it's crazy. I suppose, you know, we've adapted our own calendar to try and make it fit a bit more to the natural cycle of a world that we're so accustomed to. Because, you know, the world doesn't operate on our own calendar, the world operates on its own calendar. Why don't we go with red? We'll try and go with something sporty on the bottoms. I don't know if we got sporty shorts or something, but sporty skirt is the closest we got, which is not all that sporty. I suppose it's probably I don't buy quite so sporty outfit options. I mean, lapel shorts kind of look sporty, I'm not gonna lie. They kind of look like sport shorts. They probably are made of the same material, but I think that's the best we're going to do, actually. Weirdly enough, headgear, sporty headgear, put a baseball cap on. We kind of got a colour theme going here. I think we want red and black rather than just pure red, otherwise it's going to be a little bit strange, isn't it? In my opinion. Perhaps it won't be. Green's a bit strange. Baseball cap makes more sense to me. Unless we find another very fitting sporty outfit. Sorry, sporty headgear. Yeah, so leap years and all that good stuff. You know, there's also things like leap seconds, I believe. And you might just be like... I'm trying to remember these details, because this is like, I think it was a Tom Scott video or something I watched. Oh no, maybe it was a computer file. Well, Tom Scott was in it, but I think it was a computer file episode or something. Where he was explaining about the annoyance of... I didn't know you could put feathers in your hair. That's awesome. Obviously, we've got to put the animal nose in, as is tradition. Socks. Aerobic leggings. It's a bit of a colour clash, isn't it? I don't know if we got no-show socks, I guess makes no sense. And then some sporty shoes. What trainers we got? Sneakers. We only got orange sneakers. Basketball shoes. High-tech sneakers. Why do we not have them in any other colours? Why do we have such strange colour choices? What have I done? Seriously, we don't have any black trainers? Platform shoe. What the heck are those? They're very strange. Strappy shoes. High tops. Ah, there we go. Done. There's our new sporty look. Very, very different from what I usually go with, but let's change it up a bit to fit the style. Obviously we've got to have a ponytail, is my guess. High ponytail is not an option. That doesn't really work with this hairstyle. Is that not... Oh, it doesn't work with this. That also doesn't really work with it. This is probably the best one. And then I guess we'll go with, I know, black hair? Nah. Blonde? Nah. Brown? I think that looks best. Let's rock it. There we go. New sporty outfit. But anyway, because the bell's here, I said I was going to change my outfit when the bell comes. Yeah, it was like leap seconds or something. Because of the minuscule differences and whatever sort of thing, the minuscule differences in alignment between our fictional clock system, not fictional, fictional makes it sound like it's not real, our man-made, I suppose, clock system compared to the natural world one or something. Apparently in like NASA, or is it NASA? I don't even know. Maybe like the International Time Society, if that's even a thing, just decide, hey, we need a leap second this year for some reason. It's just like, I'm trying to remember what exactly what we do. I think it's like, if they need a leap second that year, it's at the end of a year or something. Instead of going 23, 59, 59, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, it goes 23, 59, 60, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. So you just slot in an extra second there just at the end of the year, just to, you know, extend out a year a little bit longer. We only need one fossil now, don't we? Because mirror has is the only one left to not give us object. Object is not the right word. Photo is the right word. Which we respect, fair enough. We just need to be nicer to her, and by nicer I mean fill up her inventory with fossils for whatever reason. I really hope they don't include a feature patch in where oh no, you're ill, Jakey, let's get you some medicine. A feature patch where suddenly like fossils start displaying in people's homes, because then all my villagers are just going to have homes of fossils, which is going to be the most absurd thing to look at. But yeah, yeah, so they just I wonder how they do it. How they just decide that they have a leap second. It's like, obviously my very small brain can't quite process how you do it. I'd imagine, obviously, you know, they've got like international, you know, like Unix time, whatever, to determine what the clock says, I suppose, and then converting that to the incorporation of a leap second is probably not the difficult part. The probably difficult part is judging it, I suppose. And well, what do you judge it even off of? Because the whole systems of the clock system and time systems are very man-made anyway. How would you convert a natural system into a man-made system without using man-made methods, if you understand what I mean? Like, how would you judge what time it is in the natural world without using a man-made system in the first place, you know? And do leap seconds really matter that much? Why not, instead of having a leap second, we just do that leap year rule again, but like extend it even further? So not only is every 600 years a leap year, it turns out every, I don't know, 3,000 years is also not a leap year again. Which I suppose we won't have to, you know, particularly consider until 1,000 years in the future, roughly, but still. You want to change your phrase again? Lily, I'm running out of weather-related phrases for you. Okay, pitter-patter, how about... We've done drip-drop, pitter-patter, splish-splash, sploosh. Actually, now I think about it, probably not. Just do sploosh. How about... I don't know, can we do symbols? Symbols are no longer a thing we can do. We can change a language. Let's maybe not do that. Let's do... rainy. I think that was her original catchphrase. I can't actually remember. But you know, let's just roll it. Let's just roll with it, because rainy sounds cute and I can't bother to think of a much more creative catchphrase at the moment. Yeah, I wonder how you judge it. Because obviously, there's always, like, the first... This is like going back to the season conversation I had a while back, like how do we just define the edge of a season? There's like meteorological ways you do it. The problem with meteorological ways is because of the world's changing and, you know, climate change and all that, because of our overabundant reliance on fossil fuels and unrenewable sources causing, you know, build up of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere and that sort of thing, generally raising temperature and making more turbulent weather conditions for everyone to live through, which is, you know, not a great thing, but also not really what I'm an expert in, so perhaps I shouldn't be preaching like that sort of thing in these random videos. Not that it really matters, like, who's watching this anyway? This is for my own benefit. If I want to preach to myself, I preach to myself, alright? I don't know what I'm saying with so much defiance to you, or to me particularly. I don't know. Anyway, problem with meteorological definitions, I suppose, is you can't measure time that way so succinctly, because, oh, hello everyone. Because, if you do so, because of different weather patterns and changes, you can only do it by certain trends over the years, I'd imagine, which makes it much more difficult to do it on specifics that you need for each and every year, which is the whole point of a leap second. So, with that out of the way, my guess is they do it based off our orbit, the Earth's orbit around the Sun, and its position in space. And they calculate it, I don't know, using geometry and not meteorological, what's the word? Astronomical definitions or whatever. They look at, I don't know, the angle between whatever two stars and calculate it using that, something like that, I don't know. Nothing in here in particular. I feel like we haven't spoken with Sable in a while, so what are you looking for today? Not so fast. If you want to buy something at the store, you gotta go through me. Is it in New Horizons, where they have where Mabel's like, oh, I bet she wants some white and green gingham plaid or something, and then Sable says, not everyone's looking for the Mabel special. That's one of my favourite lines from Sable. The Mabel special. Alright, do we have 6 rocks? What? Maybe I miscounted. Or we have a sudden rock growth somewhere else, which is worrying. Because if we do have a rock growing somewhere else, I don't know where to find it. But yeah, that's what I imagine we do. We'd probably do it based on the orbit and position in the orbit and angles between things like that. And they're just like, oh, you know, we're off by a few degrees in comparison to where we'd expect to be at this time frame. Let's have a leap second. And then, I don't know what else they do. I don't know what their working systems are like. And well, I was saying it was NASA this entire time. I don't think it's, or I don't know if it's NASA. Perhaps shouldn't be so quick to, well, it's not really, I was going to say like pin the blame, but it's not really blame, it's more like give credit, I suppose, to a judgment, to a society, association, organisation, that's the word, who aren't necessarily in charge of that sort of business. Or maybe they are, I don't know. Perhaps it's just a roundabout way of me just admitting I don't know what I'm talking about, which is, I feel like that's something I admit a lot. I've a distinct awareness, I feel like, of how little I know, which I think is understandable. I feel like there's a lot that we don't know in this world, obviously, so to assume otherwise is a bit foolish in my eyes. I didn't see the rock anywhere we were walking about, so it's got to be in a place I've decorated recently, probably like Jakey's house over here, where I've accidentally picked up a mannequin and forgot to replace it. Apparently not. We'll have a quick look at the Nook terminal. See what it would be. Maybe the rock will be in here. That would be quite a trip, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, leap seconds, leap years, leap days, all that sort of thing. It's sort of just like, I wonder if leap seconds really all that necessary. Like, obviously, I say this with distinct ignorance from my point of view, because I just don't know. Comrade KK we already got, we don't need any of these others. So we'll close out this notepad. I say this with fully aware that I'm being rather ignorant when I say it. Do we really need leap seconds? Are they that necessary? Like, I understand the concept of a leap date, because a day's quite a lot, and over like quite a few years, like, I know, I'd say like over the course of like 32 years, I think you'd notice, well, 28 years even, you'd probably notice a shift of a week in year time. Maybe not exactly, but you'd be like, something's a little bit off. And then, of course, definitely more years in the future, like 200 years of the future, which is obviously out of our generation's lifetime. Your children would certainly notice it and be like, these records don't make sense. You talk about, I don't know, November being incredibly cold. No, wrong way around. We talk around November's when it starts getting cold, but now it's October, it's freezing or something. I don't know. That's apparently how scientists talk in my head, which is very misrepresentative, obviously. I feel like that doesn't need to be said, but I said it anyway. Also, where is our rock? We're going to have to go hunting for wherever this rock is, which is something unexpected. A possibility is that the rock can't spawn there because of a cliff, but I don't see why that would be the case. If that is it's possible that's the case, in which case we'd I don't know what we'd do. I guess we'd move the flowers and then indent the rock. Like, indent the cliff. I can't imagine this cliff actually stops them. Yeah, surely not. It's probably a rock spawn somewhere else, which I didn't realise. That's what I hope. Because it's going to be a lot of effort. Otherwise, moving those, thingamajigs. Not thingamajigs, you know what I mean. Moving the what's the word? Flowers. To make way for this rock. I will be honest, I can't really think of a place a rock would spawn. Yeah, again, I couldn't have thought of all the other places a rock spawned when we messed it up in the previous days, but still, they existed. Nonetheless. Just like a leap second. Like, I'd imagine... Okay, sorry, my mind's going around a lot of thoughts. Okay, so I'm like, obviously from place of ignorance, a leap second, there's probably a reason for it. Reason being that there's certain people who require that sort of precise precision, right? For a second. Oh, Mira's photo, wow. I guess we don't need to give out gifts anymore. Who's crafting then? If Mira's not crafting. Audie's crafting? I don't think Audie or Vivian, maybe? We haven't seen them out and about, I think. Yeah, but there was, like, I know, someone doing some scientific research requires the precision of about 1 second, and the inaccuracy of 1 second from the sync of a real world would really mess up the results or something like that. It's my guess. But my thought is, since it's a man-made system anyway, does that really matter? If it's not quite in sync with a natural world, I suppose. Because if you require that sort of precision, you obviously don't need the precision because of a difference in time. You're not measuring like a time period necessarily. because you can just use Unix time, I suppose, for that sort of thing. You can like count from 0 up to like whatever time we're on right now, and it's the change in time which matters rather than necessarily the alignment of the start and the endpoints. So, in theory, we need to now use, so the people who do need a leap second do it based off some alignment or something with the natural world, I suppose, of the way the natural systems use align, or just they need to do it because it needs to align up with no, the man-made time needs to align up with it, with the real world time, I suppose. I don't know if I'm explaining myself coherently. It's hard to explain because I don't know much about this topic, and 2, I'm also like going a bit around in circles when I'm trying to think about it. So maybe, oh, it's not Audie. Oh yeah, Vivian was just crafting. We just saw her. So there must be some sort of reason that that sort of precision is required. But what could that be? Maybe it's certain systems or something like, or computers or something require it. If anything, I feel like it would cause more problems having a leap second in it rather than not, if that Tom Scott video was anything to go by. Which is a really very, very interesting one. I don't remember what it's called. I think it was like the problem with time zones or something as a programmer. Is my guess. Very informative video. I'm still looking for this rock. Everybody, yeah, yeah, rock your body. It could just be, it can't spawn there, which would be a shame. To say the least. Well, honestly, this sort of question about leap seconds is definitely a Google question rather than a theoretical question. If I wanted a solid answer, which of course I do, but it's also like I don't in the middle of an Animal Crossing episode necessarily. It's sort of like I'm just posing it for the posing its sake. Those weeds have changed. They're the spring versions, aren't they? That means it's probably becoming springtime now in Animal Crossing world. Passage of time. I wonder if everything takes into account leap seconds. Do you think the Nintendo Switch takes into account leap seconds? If anything, it probably just uses Unix time or whatever, which I don't really know if Unix time it counts for it or not. I suppose it doesn't technically, because Unix times just counts up from 0, right? It's the conversion from Unix time into our usual date time format, which is the way that's all done. Is my guess. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Where is this rock? I wonder if I'm just blind. Or maybe we only had 4 rocks yesterday. I thought we had 5. It's quite possible we only had 4, to be honest. And I'm just being a fool. Because to be perfectly honest, I cannot see this rock. I'd have to like run into it for me to probably see it at this point. I think I'm just blind, maybe. Or maybe I should check the previous episode, see if we got 5 or not. I don't really know. I don't see one. Seems well and truly gone. Whether this rock may be. So, you know, having 5 out of 6 rocks is not really the type of system I want on my island, to be honest. So I wonder if it is to do with the cliff being too close. I guess that's a Google question, isn't it? New horizons, can rock spawn 1 space from cliff? Comprehensive guide to manipulating and moving where, assume rock spawn. The tile must be a valid tile that can have a rock on it, must have a 3x3 grid around it, must be in a valid acre. Valid acre is no longer a thing. So what about cliff? Does cliff appear? Examples of tiles your character can stand on holding items are cliffs. Something to be aware of: if you have followed or above, but rocks are not spawning at your locations, check to see if your chosen location is above a cliff or building. I think because of the way camera works, Nintendo programmed it so rocks have to be at least 4 spaces north of a tile containing a cliff or a building. What? So that players can see what comes out of a rock. Check to see if your chosen location is above a cliff or a building. Okay, it's not. It's very much below a cliff or a building, I suppose. Rocks might not spawn if an area you laid out for them is too close to infrastructure like inclines or bridges. Don't know. Don't think so. When I was respawning with rocks, I'd set them up thusly. If top one spawned in, I didn't get rock. I remove a stone arch, and the 6th and 7th days they spawn just fine. Anything sufficiently tall can block them. Oh, so is this too tall? That is blocking the rock spawn. Oh. Well, maybe that's why. Apparently there's some inbuilt system that Nintendo put in to make sure that rocks don't spawn too like directly behind a building or something. Just to ensure that nothing really, but you can always see what you get from them. Something like that. I don't know if we need to customize our shovel, nor do I think we have enough time to move all these flowers, but we're going to try. Because it snowed yesterday. A lot of the flowers have reproduced asexually, which is not normally how flowers do things. But yeah, a leap second. I wonder if there's a Wikipedia article on it. Let's see. I know it, sorry. I just alt-tabbed and spent a while looking at guides, but still, leap second. Like, who decides it? Why do I decide it? As measured by atomic clocks. The international... The insertion of each UTC leap second is usually decided about 6 months in advance by the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service. Oh, there we go. Very clearly not NASA, which makes sense because I don't know why NASA would... I mean, not to say that NASA aren't full of very clever people, but I don't know why they'd concern themselves with something like that. It seems not necessarily out of their wheelhouse, but something that they shouldn't concern themselves with. More like, it's none of my business, I suppose. Let the clock experts do it. Which is exactly what they do. Oh, we need to give this medicine to Jakey. Okay, we'll put these flowers down, but we'll give medicine to Jakey, and then presumably we'll be out of time. Not the herb, mind you. Or perhaps I don't know if I've got any time in the house right now. The herb, no, not the concept. a bit back and forth. So 6 months in advance, you just decide there's a leap second. When was our last leap second? 2016. There was one. The leap second took place at, well, 23:59:60, I suppose, UTC. That's quite an obvious thing now I think about. Vertical segments correspond to leap seconds. Announce leap seconds to date. 2021 to be announced. What? Oh, they do it. Wait, what? Because 1972 had 2 leap seconds inserted. We haven't had one since 2016. Huh. That's interesting. Leap seconds and all that. Well, now you know about leap seconds, or maybe you don't, because I suppose I haven't really been all that informative. It's all just like, been like, oh, you know of the existence of them, which is not really saying much, I suppose. That's nothing good old Wikipedia search couldn't do to you. But there we go. Leap seconds, huh? I suppose we'll round off this episode here in leap second. That doesn't really make sense now I think about it. Let's move on past that before you think about it too hard. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, all greatly appreciated. Links down below for other stuff. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.